Hello, everybody. I wanted to make a short video on some things that I wanted to relay to you more in person than just through an email or a remind message. Remember that when you're writing your work research paper, you have to give your sources credit in two places. One, in the works cited page, and I think most of you have done a really good job of understanding how to put those in the correct MLA format. And you understand that they need to be in alphabetical order. It's the last page of your research paper, and every source that you use in your paper needs to have a correlating entry in the works cited page. But you also have to give your sources credit within the paper, what we call in-text citation, or what I've always heard it as called parenthetical documentation. Your OWL Purdue links, they call it in-text citation. So realize that those are the same things. So within your paper, in the parentheses, that's why it's called parenthetical, you have to give your sources credit. Now, make sure they are in MLA format. Hang on, let me try to get this to work. There we go. So some notes about it. Every entry, again, on the works cited page has to have at least one corresponding citation, and that you're going to put it in MLA format, which means the author's last name and the page number. No comma in between the author's last name and page number, no PG period. It's just going to look like a parentheses with the author's last name and then the number. If you mention the author's name in the text, so if you say according to Dean Smith and then you quote him, then you need to only put the page number. You notice that your period goes after the parentheses. If you paraphrase or if you summarize your source, you also have to give them credit. It's not your own words, you're getting it from somewhere else. So you might say something like Smith suggests that, and then put the parentheses after that. You can't put a long list of numbers. So let's say you found an article and it was found on pages 87 to 99 in that journal or in that magazine or newspaper. You can't just put a long list of numbers. You have to be specific. So let's say you get it from Smith on page 76, and then your next sentence comes from page 98. Then you only have to put 98. That indicates to me, okay, I'm still in the same source. You're just changing page numbers. If your source does not have an author, then you're going to put a condensed version or a condensed title of that article title, which would be the first word from your works cited entry, but it has to be in quotation marks. So for example, the Dickinson 54, it's not by somebody last name Dickinson, it's an article titled maybe Dickinson and the Use of Similes or something like that. But I know that this is not an author's name because you have quotation marks around it. Now you may be asking, Mr. Min, I don't have any page numbers, and a lot of you don't have page numbers. You are using HTML files or you are using websites. If that is the case, then you do not put page numbers. So sometimes when you print this article, I don't know if you can tell that, but at the very bottom, it says page 1 of 3, or it says page 2 of 3. That is not the page number that you put in your parenthetical documentation. That's what you've printed. It has to be the page numbers from the journal. However, if you have a PDF source or a print source, you have the article in front of you in your hand, if it's a book or if it's a PDF, you'll see the actual scanned version of that copy, and that's the page number you put. So on this one, you'll see that it's page 475, so you would use a page number in a PDF file. So again, if you have online sources, it's just going to look like that, Smith, and then the period goes outside, or understanding if it's an article title. So again, making sure that you understand that I'm going to be looking when I grade your papers for your works cited page. Did you list them in alphabetical order? Is there a hanging indent? Are they all in the MLA format? And again, that works cited practice that you did, go back and look at my comments, because if you did something wrong, I told you what you did wrong. Plus, I also posted the correct one. So make sure yours looks like the correct one that I posted, formatting wise. If you have any questions about the research paper, please feel free to send me an email or remind message, or I will get online and discuss things with you and collaborate. I'm here for you. I want you to be successful with this. Remember that your research paper is 25% of your overall average. So you really need to make sure that you have this paper written correctly. Thanks, guys.